let's talk about the legal rackets.
Okay.
Because I joke about all these different entities and organizations that are rackets. And for those of you who don't know what a racket is, it is racketeering is the act of acquiring a business through illegal activity, operating a business with legally derived income, or using a business to commit dot dot dot. Come on. Using a business. The hell? That was bad. Or using the business to commit illegal activities. So that's one definition of it. And here's one that I think encompasses a lot of it. Racketeering is a type of organized crime in which the perpetrator set up a coercive, fraudulent, extortionary, or otherwise illegal coordinated scheme or operation, a racket, to repeatedly or consistently collect a profit. So there goes your dictionary definition of what a racket is. So now we're gonna take a few things and we're gonna kind of discuss how they are legal rackets. Because see, this great thing about having a media and a Hollywood to direct and guide how we think. Sometimes we put our trust in institutions because they tell us to, and those institutions extort the hell out of us. Y'all know the first one, the church. And
Uh,
so when I talk about the church being a legal racket, do I think that money is necessary to make the church operate? Yes. Do I think people should put money into the church? Yes. Do I believe in the values that are taught in the church? For the most part. Do I believe in the person that the church is built around? The Christian church, it is. Yes. But man, oh man, it costs a lot of money to get into heaven. So they say. It's like they tell you if you accept Jesus into your heart that you can get to heaven. That's the one thing that matters. But then they be like, run me them coins.
mhm.
And a lot of it, I wouldn't even call it coercion, but even though it kind of is because you're selling hope. It's like, hey, if you give to God, God's gonna give back to you tenfold.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I just don't like the fact that they're constantly talking about money as a way of tithing or, giving your offerings because that's not what it is. Like,
It's your taxes.
no, like in the Bible, it was not that. Like, you give something that means something to you. So,
Your money means something to you.
not to everybody. No.
So, I in the past, I
Like
can
for you,
definitely.
you could easily say your time.
Oh yeah, my time is way more
If you
important than my
give
money.
if you give your time, that's you giving.
But the church cannot capitalize off of time as well as they can off of money. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just
I know what you're saying, but it's not.
put in the microphone, please.
Go ahead.
No, because I think there was a time, right, in a less developed society where if everyone's bringing their best to the church, then that can then be disseminated throughout the community to best support people. Which is why I think you have different ministries, where they give out money for college, where they give out school supplies, where they run food pantries and stuff like that. And they have different ministries where people can give their time, to serve using whatever skills they have, whether it's manual labor or whether it's, you're a doctor and you're doing some off the books treatment for people, or you're a barber and you're cutting people's hair, stuff like that. So I think that's there, but I truly think the money thing became like a big thing as we started to modernize society. And let's be real, The Bible was translated. So some things get lost in translation, but not only do some things get lost in translation, things get added in translation. Because there was a team of people who translated the King James Bible for King James, one of which being William Shakespeare. Now you're talking about one of the most skilled um, authors, writers, playwrights in history. I mean, his work still stands on its toes today, and he died in 1616. So, do you think he and some of his cohorts possibly could have put some coded language in the Bible because they're just that damn good? Probably. And if we're building our beliefs off of that, what does that say? I mean, there's a whole missing piece of the Bible that we don't use in the modern Christian church. It's kind of weird.
Mhm.
Now, again, this is not to be anti God, and this isn't even anti every church, but we know that you need money to operate. And if you're doing a special project, it's okay to ask for extra money. Like, hey, we want to do this for our community. We want to do this for our members. Hell, even if we want to do something for our pastor because our pastor's taking good care of us and we think we want to reward him outside of his salary. Because I do think pastors should get a salary because it is a full-time job. Unless the church is going to cover all of their expenses. I wouldn't do that. But I also think that there needs to be transparency with what comes in and what comes out. And I think that's where the racket comes from, right? Because the people who put in the most money are the people with the most say so. I know some churches don't allow members who don't pay tithes to vote. Am I here? Am I participating? Am I part of this church family? Yes, but I can't vote. Sounds like a racket to me.
Right.